Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer, and I hope you gain the utmost of quality from this message. Moon in Virgo, Sun in Sagittarius. This is the 10th house aspect that's gonna be facilitating this very magical sense of mastery with Virgo, and of course ascension with Sagittarius. Enlightenment is Gemini. Mastery of a skill that you have been enlightened to is Virgo. Ascension of that mastered technique is Sagittarius. And transcendence of this ascended perspective is Pisces. So you have enlightenment, mastery, ascension, and ascended mastery. As such, we are mastering ascension, mastering Virgo moon, the understanding of mastery, Virgo moon, of Godspeed and ascension. So the 9th house aspect of the Leo moon to the sun ascended in light of this golden glow up, the nature of how with this fixed strength you can strengthen the quality of the light that you see in order to help you see into your higher self and into literal Godspeed, into the light speed mechanics of your own spirit and essence, which is sentient, conscious, and exists. So with that being said, the moon in Virgo is helping you understand practically and physiologically how to facilitate this conscious experience and how to account for the time difference between your brain's inability to process these light speeds and now, in light of this ascension of your consciousness, mastering the ability to actually do just that. And this is what's going to help you understand how, Moon in Virgo, you are changing your behavior in order to account for this ascension of your consciousness. So this is the 10th house aspect that's going to give you the results for everything that you have been harvesting ever since the full moon in Gemini. And this is going to give you more real evidence of elements of how you've ascended in ways that you can now practically use in Capricorn season. I can end the video right here. I probably will. Other than that, I'm going to go to shoot the last 2 episodes of the Midheaven podcast for season 2 with Candace. Make sure you guys watch us live. It's going to be an important episode. If you've never watched us live, make sure you at least watch us live tonight. If you at least consider yourself a supporter of me or us, or you're interested. If you can't, you can't. But if you can, I would highly recommend it. It's going to be around 6:30 p.m. on the Midheaven podcast at YouTube. But what's very key about this is the sun is 22 degrees, square 22 degrees Neptune, and the moon is eventually going to oppose 22 degrees in Virgo. And this is going to, with the influence of Neptune and Jupiter getting ready to go into Aries, shift so considerably the physiological, physical, practical understanding of metaphysical, unseen phenomena that with Virgo will account detailed analysis of unseen principles that have always been influencing you, but because Sagittarius of the light is actually squaring it, you're going to see it for the first time. There are going to be certain mechanics with synchronicities you've been experiencing or occurrences that you realistically couldn't process because it was outside of your ability to, that this square will make sense of for you. This harvest is bringing to completion the barrels that you have taken from what you've planted. So when we go into the 11th house, you start to divvy it out to people in the form of the perspectives you share. The thing that's really important, though, of course, is 22 degrees of Leo moon was when the 9th house started. And so the moon just entered Virgo. From 22 Leo to 22 Virgo is the 9th house aspect. And so this glow up is now stepping into a real evidence. So from 0 degrees Virgo to 22 degrees Virgo, there's real practical evidence through the change of the understanding of your behavior towards how you ascend your conscious abilities and actions, real leveling up. You are really leveling up. This glow up is now taking a supernaturally real quality. And the first thing that's going to happen is that it's going to trine Uranus and Taurus. The trine to Uranus and Taurus is going to fundamentally innovate radically how much more realistically you can innovate this nature of manifestation to almost instantaneously bring into practical form what you have structured through Taurus and Capricorn for avenues of making money or building structure to just align with the sense of innovation. Many of you have had the idea of what, and you had the idea of what to do and what you have to have, and this is now creating the how in order to facilitate that. And so you're going to see great financial breakthrough that might come after some financial loss, so that through that loss you can reconstruct, or it's just going to add more to what you already have. But what's more important is the how. This way, once you master the how, you can lose all your money today, but you know the how, you just replicate it again. This is going to be huge breakthrough because it's the final season of the breakthrough arc that started Libra season. So I can't emphasize, it's one of the most important transits we have, because once the moon is opposite Neptune, certain dreams that you've had, especially when you were changing your perspective of reality, when the seeds broke through the ground, now you're coming into the evidence of how you are changing reality. So 2 weeks ago, especially if you are living in the end result and you are seeing your manifestations, you are starting to change your perspective of reality, and you are understanding how your beliefs around your vision change because you're starting to see elements of this change. Now you're seeing the evidence of it. Now you're seeing the evidence of what you've been manifesting for so long. Look at that infinity synchronicity right here. Okay, that's a synchronicity for me. And so that's beautiful because now you're incorporating these synchronous elements in a way that don't just happen to you, but you co-create with them and you can practically move forward with them. There's a practical Moon and Virgo understanding that's going to facilitate real, tangible, legitimate, practical means that you can touch with your fingers in order to complete this ascension chapter. So you're going to be glowing up, and then once we reach 22 degrees opposite Neptune, you're going to see very clearly unseen dynamics with which you can now operate within, because the moon in Virgo is giving you a physical understanding of metaphysical Neptune and Pisces mechanics that are operating in front of you real time, that the square to the sun in Sag is helping you see into. Like, them synchronicities are going to hit. It's not just going to be like you're just randomly looking for master numbers. They've already been showing and co-creating itself to you, but you're now fundamentally organizing a method and MO of how to actually utilize such experiences instead of it just happening, okay, and just being free potential. This is also going to prepare you with the grand Earth trine and the trine to Pluto after the opposition to Neptune. Once you gain this transcendent understanding that will analyze unseen dynamics and make sense of it for you, for how to transform trine Pluto, the awakening of this power. Because a lot of you have awakened superpowers, but you don't know how to use it. The moon in Virgo is going to update your understanding of how to use it now that you can see what the fuck you're doing. Because so many of you never really seen it. It was just happening. Like, how could you see phenomena that occurs super clusters away from you because you had a tantrum and now there was a black hole in a sector elsewhere? That sounds preposterous, but quantum entanglement shows that you're not separate from anything you desire, and this also applies to atoms millions of light years away from you. You got to focus. I know you see that synchronicity. So with that being said, it's focus that is what brings elements from the intangible world into tangible reality. That way, if you didn't, any subconscious fear you had would just manifest automatically. This is why it's good that all of our thoughts don't just come into fruition immediately, but through focus and repetition and consistency and pressing certain imagery and techniques on your subconscious, not techniques but imagery, this is what, of course, allows this inner world within you to manifest physically. But I don't want to make this about manifestation. This isn't a Taurus season transit. This is about applying your worth in order to create the reality you know you want to live in. And this is now with the moon in Virgo, finishing the new moon in Sagittarius ascension arc and having you see the reality you have created. Because now that the moon is in Virgo, every degree coming into 22 degrees, you're coming into more real evidence of, oh my gosh, your wishes is coming true. The life you created is coming. Many of you have felt in between worlds. Now you're crossing into the threshold of the next world before the new moon in Capricorn has you take a new cycle to take action in that new world. So congrats, you made it. Once we reach 22 degrees opposite Neptune, you have completed the harvest. And now you're looking at everything you've harvested. You have now realistically mastered supernatural abilities and techniques you can use consistently over and over. And I have to illustrate, relative to a new way to look at everything you're good at doing, there was an inconsistency and hit and miss factor leading up to this point that had you do something that you know you can do, but you haven't been able to do it over and over until now. Until now! Congratulations. This should make you shit your pants with joy. I don't know anyone who would shit their pants because they were happy. Please don't do that. But I will say, you are going to understand a mechanic that is supernatural beyond belief. You're going to understand a moon in Virgo that is sun in Sag, Neptune, Pisces. A mechanic, moon in Virgo, a physical mechanic that is supernatural, sun in Sag, beyond belief, Neptune and Pisces. There you go. And if you got Gemini energy, holla! Shout out to my Geminis! Shout out to the Virgos, though, because there's really no Virgo in the moon. But if you have Gemini, the Mars in Gemini is going to instantly enlighten you. Even if you don't have Gemini, Mars in Gemini is going to instantly enlighten you of how moon in Virgo to take action and how you should think about what you should do. So you're just automatically going to know what to do with Mars trine Saturn. And this is going to transform the knowledge of how you operate in light of evidence that is completing newly defined supernatural abilities you've been mastering. So for a rare few of you, because you are advanced, maybe you were born Aquarius sun or moon or Pisces sun and moon, when this cycle started, you were aware of what you're activating. The rest of you, you only have an idea. You think you know what you activated. So reset IV. This is going to literally reset your consciousness to where, for many of you, you have an idea of what you activated, but it's not going to click until boom, now. So this will feel like the new moon for you, where it's like, oh, I have new abilities, because they were activating unconscious to you. Because you're a magnificent, like you have a whole world within you. It's going to be hard to understand subatomic processes in just one of your digestive tract systems that somehow influence your mind's thinking. Well, all this is organizing for you auto-nervously. Imagine you have God-level abilities that operate auto-nervously, so you don't even have to control facets of this. And if someone is trying to betray you, your body just moves on its own. Like, auto-nervous God-level shit is really the wave right now. And you are effectively updating the neural pathways that influence supernatural relations between your physical body's properties and metaphysical properties of your energy body, etheric body, and all that spiritual mumbo jumbo bullshit that never really always made sense until now. Like, it's all just gonna click. It's gonna be like, oh, this really wasn't bullshit. It's just the person who told me it was a bullshitter. Anyway, you guys stay blessed as always. Godspeed. This is going to be one of those transits where if you needed more real evidence of yourself as a supernatural and divine being, it's here. And you're going to understand how to facilitate this completion so that Capricorn season comes and you move forward with this power so that you can break through the final boss battle and step into this conclusion arc that will lead us into the beginning of the end of the literal fucking world. Obviously, these superpowers you're awakening are so that you can be a star of this new world and you can lead and create the new generation if you are a part of it or a part of the older one leading them. Y'all stay blessed as always. Peace.